What's up, everybody? I'm Alex, and I'm here with Jake. And Jake, we're both interns. What are we doing here?
I don't know. We definitely shouldn't be on camera, though.
Yeah, well, we are anyways. We somehow managed to get in here and get on camera, and we're playing a game. We're playing Mass Effect 1, but we're playing it on the Xbox One.
Yes, so we're going to test out how this backwards compatibility works on one of our favorite games, I'd say, right?
Yeah, I loved Mass Effect 1. I actually think it was my second favorite Mass Effect, behind Mass Effect 2. So recently at E3 a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I guess, Microsoft announced that they were patching in backwards compatibility for the Xbox One for Xbox 360 games. And so we're here to try it out with the game they actually showed off at the press conference.
Yeah, and it's important to note that there's like 5 that you can do right now with the preview program, and it's supposed to be 100, up to 100, I think, by the end of the year.
Yeah, there really aren't that many games supported right now, but they are actually, taking suggestions for games to get support for backwards compatibility. I think the #1 most requested game right now is Red Dead Redemption, but for the moment, there are only a couple, so we're playing this one. We're going to show off one of the other missions, not the mission they showed in the press conference, but one of the earlier missions. Where are we going, Jake?
I don't know. We can go to Noveria, we can go to Liara's dig site, we can go to Pharos. Now, normally you go to Liara's dig site first to recruit Liara, but I don't think we should do that.
Nah, let's go somewhere else.
Let's go to Pharos.
Go to Pharos, yeah.
I don't remember what Pharos is, but...
I don't either. It's been a long time. Actually, the last time I played Mass Effect 1 was a couple years ago when the Mass Effect trilogy came out for the PS3.
Yeah. Still holding out on one for Xbox One and...
Like a remaster for the Xbox One. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Because if you haven't noticed by now, this runs probably the same as it did on 360. It doesn't look much better. The frame rate, it's not very good, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, I mean, the cinematics still look pretty good, though. Like, the actual, the scenes between gameplay still hold up pretty well, as all things considered, considering it's a game from, 2007?
2007, yeah.
Yeah, so... I mean, for the most part, it looks like Mass Effect 1. You'll see when we get into gameplay that it's showing its age a little bit.
Yeah, especially combat. Combat doesn't play as good as I remembered.
Yeah, Mass Effect 1, I mean, one of the biggest criticisms of this game is that its combat is pretty rough. It's a struggle to shoot things. It's not the tight shooter that Mass Effect 3 became later on. In my opinion, it's the thing that I hope they actually improve on if they are to do a remaster.
Oh, right off the bat.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so Commander Shepard is spawned into a railing here. This is a good start.
All right, maybe we should go somewhere else. I wonder if that's an Xbox One exclusive right there.
Yeah, Xbox One exclusive phase into a railing. Good times. Commander Shepard had some rough times on the Normandy, but that might be one of the rougher ones.
The problem with going to Noveria, though, is I don't think there's going to be any combat. That's all right. We'll just wander around, talk to some of the weird alien folk.
Later on, we can go to the dig site. Can you drive the Mako there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should drive the Mako at the end of this. Mako's the best, in my opinion. I'm so glad it's coming back to the Mass Effect Andromeda. Hopefully, at least.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Mako's not that good in this, but it was still a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think that whatever they have planned, the Mako's gonna work just fine in Andromeda.
And however janky it is in this game, I mean, it's like a pretty awesome sort of jank, right? Like you're just flying around everywhere. You can drive it to the side of a mountain.
Yeah, I mean, that was one. I mean, it just like it was. I don't know. It controlled, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it did what you needed to. Sometimes with some mishaps, but I don't know. I always enjoyed driving the Mako around the planets. I would obviously never follow the right path and just drive over mountains. It was kind of the Skyrim horse of the Mass Effect universe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You go anywhere with it. You just use the jump packs, jump over anything you couldn't get across.
All right.
All right.
So, I'm not in a rail this time.
It's a good start. It's a promising start for Commander Shepard here going in Noveria. Are we gonna? All right.
Do we want to talk to him?
Now let's go down. Let's see what we can do.
Is this is the way I'm supposed to go, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
I kind of want to replay all these games to prepare myself for Andromeda.
Yeah, me too. I want to see. I remember the ending of Mass Effect 1 was really an incredible moment. I cannot remember exactly what the ending of Mass Effect 1 is at the moment, but I remember loving it and it leading really well into Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, Saren in this game I still think is one of the best video game villains.
Oh yeah.
Maybe just one of the best villains in general, and it's kind of a shame because the Reapers, like, they were definitely a threatening enemy, but they kind of weren't.
Yeah.
They didn't have that same charisma that Saren did.
I really think the more interesting enemy in the later games, Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, were the Geth. When you get Legion later on,
Yeah.
like those were really cool moments.
That's far enough.
All right, I'm going to be Commander Shepard, Renegade version.
Yeah, I mean.
This is an unscheduled arrival. I need your credentials.
No, just no.
I have more credentials than you.
He's not having any of this.
They plan to be trouble, ma'am.
I can't let you enter the port area without confirmation
man.
of your identity.
Yeah, so it's
Sergeant Sterling,
definitely a
secure
game
the
from
weapons.
2007.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
drawing the guns.
standoff.
Don't try it.
I'm keeping my gun.
Nobody takes my weapon.
Charge and lock!
We're authorized to use lethal force. You have
Bring
a
it.
count of 3 to surrender your weapons. 1, 2, 3.
Captain Matsuo, stand down.
Oh. Yeah, so this is the first time I've seen these Renegade options. I always play Paragon.
Inspectors are authorized to
The
give
first time I
weapons
played
to
through it, I
Captain.
chose Paragon. Second time, I chose Renegade. And the third time, I just kind of like, I did what felt right.
Yeah.
If I wanted to push someone off a building, I pushed someone
You
off a
push
building.
push the guy off the building. Yeah. I never did that. I was always the Paragon to a fault.
I'm sure Paris
Even when it meant giving up my gun, even though I'm Commander Shepard.
So I actually think I'm going to turn around and leave this planet because,
Are you just talking to people on this?
yeah, you kind of talk to people for a while, and then eventually you get in the Mako, but that could be an hour from now.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
as you can see here, like the frame rate is hitching pretty bad. I played this on PS3. Jake, was the frame rate this like inconsistent on the Xbox 360 originally?
I mean, I assume it was. At the time, I don't really remember because frame rate wasn't as big of a deal, I feel like, back then. I mean, it was, but it kind of wasn't. People didn't expect 60 frames all the time. I mean, it just kind of ran, and
Yeah.
I was fine with it.
Yeah, but it's, you know, if you have good memories about this game and you want to play it on your Xbox One, obviously, like this is a great way to do it. It's not going to blow anyone away with its graphical fidelity nowadays, but it's still, you know, playing through it, seeing all the choices you can make. It reminds you of like why Mass Effect is special,
Commanding
Yeah.
officer is aboard.
going the wrong way.
and it's pretty great that you can play it on the Xbox One. So, you know, if you've been holding out for upgrading because you just have a whole bunch of Xbox 360 games lying around, you know, this is a good thing that Microsoft is doing, and hopefully they'll get more support for other games soon.
Yeah, because right now, the options are like Perfect Dark Zero, which is crap. There's Viva Pinata, which I don't understand. And then there's this, which is pretty tight.
Yeah, and it's right now if you go onto the Microsoft webpage about backwards compatibility, it actually shows like Halo Reach at the top, but they don't have Halo Reach support yet, so like that's not ideal. Hopefully they'll get, you know, more of those patched in soon. Red Dead Redemption, like if that's actually going to come and get backwards compatibility, that's huge because I want to go back to that game.
Yeah. So it didn't tell me which system to go to. So
Did you go to Liara's dig site?
yeah, I went to the Ars
Alright.
Dig site, but then it didn't tell me. So we're gonna have to.
Brave the Blizzard.
Yeah, I guess so.
Jake, which was your favorite Mass Effect?
Ooh, it's tough. I mean, there's parts that I like in all of them. I think when it comes down to it, 2 is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, 2 really just was the high point in so many ways, even down to the silly mining minigame. Like, I just loved going around, like, you know, cycling around planets and finding the spikes in the minerals and then sending out probes to mine those minerals. Like, that was just a good way
Yeah.
to spend a couple hours of my days. I think that Mass Effect 3 was the best playing Mass Effect. I think
Yeah, that was
people
probably the
generally-
tightest one.
Yeah, it felt the most like a good shooter.
Yeah, this is the one we need to go to. I
Okay.
picked the right one. Got lucky. Yeah, 2. I mean, I think 1 definitely had the biggest like wow factor, sort of, because I was so hyped for this game, and when it came out, it for the most part, delivered. Who should we pick?
Let's go.
Always Garrus.
Always Garrus.
Yeah, you always have to have Garrus. And
Caden?
Caden? All right, we'll do
Just
Caden.
kidding. That's a good squad. I always had Garrus in every one of my squads.
I know. Garrus was my favorite squad member.
His recovery mission in Mass Effect 2 was super cool as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like sitting in a building being a sniper while you fought into the building?
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. I knew he had to show up, and
Yeah.
all right, so we are in the Mako.
Here we go. Mako time.
I'm gonna try
man.
not to drive into the lava.
I definitely did that a couple times.
No, it's bound to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's bound to happen.
This is like more unintuitive driving or like counterintuitive driving controls than the Warthog in Halo the first time you play it. Like you just do not understand it. Like, I still don't understand really how the driving works in this game. Like it's just so weird, but also really ridiculously fun in a lot of ways.
The primary and secondary weapons are the same as Arkham Knight. Right trigger and right bumper.
Playing a lot of Arkham Knight,
I have.
Jake. Yeah, I think the Mako was a super polarizing addition to Mass Effect.
Imagine being in this though as one of them. Like, look at it just bounce up and down. They
And-
probably hit
right.
their heads all the time. And
Occasionally you'll just flip over if you go up a cliff or something and
the life of Commander Shepard.
do the jump jets.
How do I do those again?
A?
Oh
boy.
Yep, see?
Oh
All
boy.
right.
All right. Yeah, this is definitely some of this stuff is very dated. And you were actually telling me before, like, this game came out in a very strange time when it was still early on in the Xbox 360's life, and it was still really, like, relatively close to the Xbox, like the original Xbox in those games. And so you get a lot of weird relics from past RPGs.
Yeah, there's a lot of like archaic design choices that I think if they just waited another year, they probably would have worked those out. But at the same time, that's kind of the charm of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it took them, a go around to, realize that guns with ammo and clips is probably a better system than having guns that can overheat with an energy system.
Yeah.
And having guns that you can actually aim is probably a pretty good idea. But that's part of the charm of this game.
Can't wait for Andromeda.
Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, that E3 trailer, huh?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I'm super excited for it. I don't think they showed enough, to be honest, because I've been waiting a long time for this. But I'm still happy. I know it's coming, and
So they've already said that it's not going to be about Shepard. What do you want to see featured in this game?
I'm happy that it's not about Shepard. I want it to be entirely new. I don't want there to be some giant threat that's going to take over the world. I just want it to be like take over the universe, I guess. I just want it to be like more exploratory based, I guess.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool for them to have something more personal, less bombastic and epic than this.
Exactly, because what made this game were the characters.
Yeah.
And I think they should just double down on that. Like a little bit of epicness is awesome, but I still want the main focus to be on. Wow, look at this.
Oh my god.
This is rough.
So it's dipped down to like sub 20 now, and this is, and it's even affecting your ability to shoot, but that's
and
Mass
drive.
Effect 1. Yeah. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, I was, oh man. If it follows someone like, maybe like a pirate or like a rogue who's just going around trying to, make money, make a name for himself, like I think that would be a super cool
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
addition.
From what I've heard, though, it sounds like you're just looking for new planets in the Andromeda galaxy, which seems pretty cool, like new habitable planets.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they showed off in the trailer. Wow, it still hasn't gotten past this
Oof.
frame rate dip.
This is rough. All right.
All right.
But yeah, one of the greatest parts of Mass Effect is just the exploration of the world. And if Mass Effect Andromeda brings that back, then they can't really go wrong if they have the same framework as the Mass Effect 2 and 3, and then they put it on just even more exploration. I think that'll be
Yeah.
great.
I think that just about wraps this up.
Yeah, that's Mass Effect 1 running on the Xbox One. And this is Jake and Alex with GameSpot showing off this backwards compatibility feature. So for For more about Mass Effect 1, for more about Mass Effect Andromeda, and for more about Xbox One backwards compatibility, keep an eye on GameSpot.com.